You can really tell I'm hanging out with the comic kingpin because I'm late, and that usually doesn't happen unless some of these comic kingpins are in here with me. So what's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday, or as I like to call it, New Comic Book Day Eve, or as many of you know me now as the greatest Moon Knight reviewer of all time, because, well, I mentioned that because Moon Knight hits tonight. If you're on the West Coast, it's midnight. If you're on the East Coast, you got to stay up till 3 in the morning. Please, nobody ruin it because I won't be home tomorrow until like 6 p.m. Eastern, and that's when I'll watch it. If you want to tune into my my review, I suggest you wait till after dinner time. But what's going on, man? Thank you everybody for joining me. I know it's been a busy day. If you're in the East Coast, you know it was a beautiful day around here, and I don't want to brag, but I mean, I'm in Canada, so like 11 and a half months is fucking cold. Today it was 19 degrees, and I actually got to go to the post office in flip-flops. So I'm a happy guy. But we're not here to talk flip-flops. We're here to talk comics. And tonight, guys, we're going to be looking at a quarterly report. So we're going to be looking at some of the books. I think there's 10 or 12 of them that have come out since January. And we're going to talk about them. Usually we do the hottest comics, but that has nothing to do with this. This is literally going to be the books that have come out since January to now on New Comic Book Day, new releases, books that have made us go, shoot, should I have bought more? Should I sell them? What am I doing with these? Did I waste money? Did I lose out? All that stuff. Basically the hottest of the last 4 months. And it's always interesting to go back. You know, like BC always says, you got to go back in order to appreciate right now. So with that said, let's bring in our guest, and we do have a special guest tonight. But first, I'm going to bring in Mr. Smiley. He's always smiling. He's always happy. Let's bring him in. It's FaceTime. What's up, man?
What's going on, bro? When all else fails, blame your lateness on Hyper.
Hyper's not even here, man.
It doesn't matter. It's always Hyper's fault when you're late.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Mr. 8 minutes late always, but yeah. What's going on, man? You happy? Are you ready for New Comic Book Day? Are you ready for Moon Knight?
Oh, for sure. I'm definitely, excited to see the next episode of Moon Knight. I think we're gonna give it a little bit better rating than Mr. Newbie, but
Mr. 3.5.
Right?
remember, I said 3.5 episode 1. I said 5.5 episode 2. So who knows? Maybe if we're following this trend, 7.5. I don't know. I think this one's going to be a good one, though. It's the halfway, it's the climax. I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
It's fucking so better. Too. I mean, better. I expect Galactus to show up. I expect reread it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't expect any of that shit to show up. All right. Well, we got a special guest in here tonight, and I know I'm special. I know Face is special. I know we're all special. We're all our special snowflakes, but we do have a special guest, so I do want to put notice on him. Mr. Rocksteady. He's joining us today all the way from Western Canada. And guys, if you haven't checked him out, he was on the show last week, killed it. Friend of the channel, family to the channel now. Buds forever. We're gonna get those like necklaces with like the hearts. I don't know which side I'm gonna take, but this guy's really cool. He's got a whatnot sale happening this Friday for the first time because you guys know Canada's got sellers now, so he's gonna be doing his first show. And let me tell you guys, between you and I, he's got some really good books. So make sure you guys go check him out. He's going to talk about that at the end of the show. But let's bring him in. It is none other than Greg, Mr. Rocksteady. What's up, brother?
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. Hey, we had such a blast last week. I thought, fuck it. Let's bring him in again, man. I hope you had fun. If not, I don't know what you're doing here, but
I'm back. Your mom's paying me to hang out with you. So
yeah.
Got to make a profit somehow, right?
Yeah. And this isn't high school. But thanks for joining me,
all
man.
Over again.
Yeah. Dude, I know we're not really supposed to talk about it, but how pumped are you for tonight? Well, I say tonight because, you're West Coast, so you might be able to see it tonight. But how excited are you for the Moon Knight, and how excited are you for New Comic Book Day?
I'm intrigued for Moon Knight. Like, I think it's more of an intrigue level than an excitement level.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had a ton, but we've had a lot of questions, and it leaves you wondering, right? So I'm hoping some questions get answered. But yeah, pretty excited. He's one of my favorites over the last little while. And I think Not because I'm jumping on the bandwagon or whatever, but it's brought attention to him and I've gained some appreciation. So I like that.
Yeah. Very well. I mean, at least we're not talking Captain America. That's important. I mean, I'll take Moon Knight over Captain America. So
Newbie, real quick, while you're saying hello to chat and stuff, I'm gonna reload. I'm getting some feedback on mine, so I'm gonna reload my browser real quick.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right.
I'll be right back.
Well, with that, let's say hello to the chat real quick. This is gonna be an exciting show, man. I'm excited. Mr. Michael's here with the gold. What's going on, sir? Dan Delatorre, USA, and the Ancient One takes the silver again. What is going on, sir? Thanks for joining us. Mr. Bernard, the Lost, is here. Copper is all mine. No, you got the bronze, dude. I'm catching you with the bronze. RP came in late. He's getting fourth. Participation for him. That's what we do in Canada. We give 5th place, 6th place, 7th place, 8th place. I remember on like fun day at school, they have all the way to 12th place. So, welcome to Canada, I guess. TKO is in the house. What's going on, TKO? Mr. Brandon, Mr. Tim, what's going on, dude? Hope to see you soon. There's no Burlington show this Sunday, so that sucks. So we're gonna have to wait to see each other again. Let's try Face. You got us yet?
I believe we're good.
All right, perfect. Mr. Oregon, what's happening? Uncanny Swag is in the house. My brother Just Cruz, he is back from a family trip, so the hunt is on. This guy is back, so I'm pumped, man. Friend of Newbieverse for life. Again, we got to get those necklaces. We got to break it into like 10 pieces.
We can get infinity gems for.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
You know what, Greg? I knew I brought you on for a reason, man. I knew it.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like the infinity gems.
I got it.
Yeah, I like that.
Ideas. We'll go places.
All right, okay. We'll go. What's that neck tattoo? Oh, it's a gemstone. Don't worry. Just don't worry about it. What is going on, Comic Chic? We are Venom, Brandon, Rocksteady's at 2 places at once. So when your grade teacher said you can't be in 2 places at once, well, Greg just proved it. So
welcome to the multiverse.
Exactly. Mr. RP Newbie, aka Mr. 3.5. Oh, geez. You're next. Newbie, show off your superpowers and read my mind. Avengers Annual 10. I think I'm pretty good. Peter, what is going on, sir? How you doing, man? Geek Stock. I hope I said that right. Black Crown is in the house. LOL. I read Mr. 3.5 and Pip. Dude, that's how I read
too. Like Mr. Worldwide.
BC, you're racist. Just because I'm Latin doesn't mean everything that's said about me has to be in Pitbull's face. Racist. I'm just kidding, brother. How you doing, man?
How could you not read it in that voice?
Mr. Comic Dude is in the house. So yeah, we got a lot of people. North 49. Kenneth is in the house. Amigo, what's going on? Kenneth is in the house. So you guys know Mr. Ultra. We are not worthy. What's going on, man? How you doing, brother? Insert Tales of Suspense jokes here. Newbie is the last missing infinity entity. I like it.
He's the gauntlet.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Scott 5, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother? All right, guys. So we're gonna start the show. You guys know if you're watching on the rewind, if you just tune in, I'll give you a shout out. If you come in, if you're watching on the rewind, I appreciate it. Hi. So yeah, let's get the show started. And guys, obviously, news broke this Monday, new channel sponsor. So I'm super pumped about Brandon, Back in Time Comics joining me. I'm so good and so excited that I didn't even post the sponsorship stuff on this presentation, but I will say this. We don't really talk about comic applications / apps on this channel. We just don't need to. We don't want to. Frankly, I just don't want to. But there is one app that we do need to talk about. And guys, that is the easiest app you could use. It's the Back in Time Comics app. Go check it out. Advanced pre-orders, weekly FOC, signature series, because yes, Back in Time is a CGC dealer. So you can just drop your books off. He'll take care of them. Really nice dude. You can get the 25% off recent releases, the clearance 50% off, everything. And if you go to the shop, guess what? He's got candy there for like 30 cents. Like I was eating Airheads like the whole time I was there. So basically his business report at the end of the month is literally going to be 100% sales in Airheads just because of me. So, that's what
You
happens.
are what you eat.
All right. That's what happens. I bring business up. But make sure you guys go check out Back in Time Comics. I have their Instagram and their Facebook down below. Brandon does a really good Facebook auction as well. He's got a lot of good books, so make sure you guys go check it out. And the one thing that I do love is he has a flaker sale. So for those of you who order books, and it could be a hot book, instead of upcharging it and going crazy, you know what he does? He does a flaker sale, and he literally just puts all the books up, and it's an open auction for everybody. So that's what I love. I love that. I wish I would have trademarked that, the flaker sale, but it is what it is. Make sure you guys go check out Back in Time Comics. Mr. Vancouver Comic Junkies in the house. What is going on, sir? How you doing, brother? I saw your IG post. Got to hit that place up. Dude, do it, man. He's a great guy, great shop, a lot of books, a lot of statues. He's got some signed jerseys of players that aren't Rangers or Eagles people either. Don't bother looking there, but that's for another story. All right. Let's get it going, guys. You guys ready?
Let's roll.
Always ready.
Oh, God, you sound like Lance Stevenson. Born ready.
Right.
All right. 2022 quarterly comic review. And again, people, we are going to be talking about the books that have come out since January. I might have slipped in one or two, maybe the last week of December in here. But again, it kind of trickled into, 2022, and we're still talking about them. So let's get into it. We are going to be talking about the comic review of the quarterly months. First book up, guys. We've got Phoenix Song Echo #1, the 1 in 25. Remember, everybody just went crazy for this. It was gold. It was this. At the height of it, it hit about $300 Canadian, which is insane to think about it now because it's essentially selling for $50 to $60 Canadian right now. 9.8 CGC currently sold. One sold, I think it was second week of March. It sold for $255 Canadian. But again, a book that made us go crazy, and we don't even have to do the whole let's wait a year. This is literally 5 months later, and you could see the drastic drop in the numbers from 300 to basically 50. That's a pretty big jump, man. What do you think, Rocksteady?
What do the Kingpins call it? JOMO?
JOMO.
You got it.
This is, I think this is point proven. Do your research and not jump the gun and get caught up in the frenzy, I think. I think it's a great cover. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful book. And 50, 60 raw, I think that's a cool book at that price. You know what I mean? But compared to what it was going for, it's pretty crazy. So I think it's a good reminder to think things through. And do you need it now, or can you wait 3 months? And where's it going to be?
Yeah, I mean, it is a great cover. And I would assume that they have some kind of a plan for the character herself, because matching her up with Phoenix is an odd choice. So we'll see where that goes down the road. You do get the first appearance of River, which is a supporting character for her that can have some significance down the road. But I mean, that's still pretty high price for this. So I think, this is probably one that would have been a little bit better to pass at those prices. And
but it's always funny though, Face. It's funny because doing FOC, then leading up to FOC, then when you find out the numbers, and then when you find out what it's going for, you get to this 2-3 week roller coaster ride with these books. And then you don't even have to go that far where you're just wow, look at this book. And there's a lot of books on this list that we're going to talk about that there's a trend, but yet we kind of fall for it week after week after week after week. And some hit, don't get me wrong. There's a few on this list that are shit, I should have probably stocked this. I should have stacked it. But there's other ones that are hey, you know what? I might have waited, like Greg said, knowing this information that it happens with a lot of the books. I mean, we probably shouldn't jump the gun sometimes, but I get it. The FOMO is real. If you you don't even need to be in the comics to understand that mindset exists. It's just insane.
I think it's a risk versus reward mentality too. Like a 1 in 25 to stack is a lot bigger risk than an A cover or open order, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a big risk. But yeah, ultra, yeah, low orders for sure.
And also too, it's first appearance and first cover. You guys know that's pretty big, right?
Yeah.
I didn't go heavy. I just picked up 2 copies of cover A because I thought, okay, first appearance. I mean, Echo, you know, the show, the character, this, that. I was like, okay. But even now, man, like, I'll be honest, and maybe, you know, Rocksteady can attest this, but like, I put one up on my Whatnot sale like 2 weeks ago, started at $1, and I couldn't even get rid of it. Like, I even said, oh, I'll give this away, and people were like, no, it's okay, keep it. So like, you know, there is no love right now for this character. Who's to say down the road? You never know, but definitely a book that has dropped from grace, and one of the hottest books in the quarter of 2022. Just Cruise. Love the cover, but I'm not paying premium for this book. I'll find it. Yeah. And to be honest, guys, I don't think a lot of people might know that this is a 1 in 25. So you might be surprised at somebody just putting it in a bin and being like, it's nothing, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's
go. A lot of places that got the 1 in 25 on this though.
I know a few places that got it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like around me, like a little bit further, but I do know a few places.
Yes. Yeah, like Ultra said, it is. I'm sure it's one that was, you know, a low print run. So, you know, if he plays a role in the future, it definitely could be a thing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, more than just a supporting character. So,
have any of you guys read this story, by the way?
No.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't anything huge.
Yeah, because I don't hear anybody
force.
picking up the other issues of it. Like, no one said like, man, I can't believe this story, or I can't believe this character. Like, nobody's really said anything about this book.
It was all right. Like I said, it wasn't anything huge. It involved Forge and the Adversary. So if you remember that story from old X-Men days in the 90s.
Oh, the good old days that I don't
Right.
remember. All right. Next book on the list is something that, you know, we all went crazy for. So it's like first cover of Miss Minutes. It's first appearance of Miss Minutes. It's also the first time the Punisher logo is there. It's also first appearance of, I think, a variant of Kang. There's like a lot of things that are in this one that a lot of people don't know, right? Like if you guys go and look on eBay, Timeless One, the cover A, is still on shelves at some places, and it's still selling for about $18 Canadian, which is like almost 3 times cover, right? It's a $4.99 book. It's selling double, if not triple, and that's crazy because it's still on shelves. This one made everybody go nuts. There was a second print. I think there was a third print. 9/8 are just now coming out for this, and they are selling at $250. I mean, that's not bad. But to be honest, I'm okay missing this. And the biggest thing was this one came out after FOC, right? Like nobody really knew that this was happening until after, I believe, if that's the case, because we ran into that issue with like this one, a Star Wars one, the Riri one. The art has come out after FOC. Week of release, $50 to $80. Currently, $40 to $50. So again, another loss, but still $250 for a 9/8. What do you guys think? Did you fall into the rabbit hole of getting the different prints as well? Did you even fall for this one, Rocksteady?
So I'm the opposite of most people. A lot of people really liked it at the beginning, and it kind of went down.
Yeah.
I kind of like it more as time goes on, but not necessarily this cover. Like the A cover, there's a lot going on in the guts.
Yeah.
I don't think Miss Minutes is as significant anymore because there's so much more going on inside. So I think the 2 books are going to even out a little bit because this was open order. The only thing is it was an FOC, like the image came out after FOC. So it's not like it's a ratio or anything. And then I think they did the second print, the 1 in 25, which satisfied some people too, which might drop the demand. Where the real buy on this is the Momoko cover, and that's going for cover price right now.
Which one's the Momoko one again? That's the Punisher one?
I can grab it if you want. But yeah, it's I forget I can grab it. Give me a second.
All right, all
But
right.
yeah, I think it's the steal at this point. And I think they're all going to even out a little bit, but I think there's lots going on, and it's a good buy.
Yeah.
At the price now, I think go for the A cover, but this one, hold on to if you have it.
I don't think there's a black and white. I think there's a black with like the missed minutes being white. So I think maybe that's
Well, I think there was I think they did like a sketch variant for
okay. Did they? Because
the one
anytime
in
somebody
the
says
second
black and
print,
white,
I
you think
believe.
sketch, but sometimes
Well,
there
I think it
is
was the
black and
second
white.
print ratio that was the sketch variant,
Yeah.
if I remember right. But also Vancouver, I'll hit you up then. I got one for you. So
Ooh.
and then yeah, I mean, it was a cool cover, getting to see Miss Minutes on there and everything. But
Okay.
yeah, okay, I remember that one. That's
And
cool.
then
I don't remember ever seeing. Yeah, that's the cover A,
Yeah.
right?
No, this is the second print. And
Yeah,
then this
cover A is the one with Kang. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
But
Second
yeah, it was
print.
cool.
1 in
It was
50.
cool to get to see her on
Third
the
print.
cover and everything like that. Being as she was kind of a interesting, fun character in the Loki series. But yeah, obviously she didn't play any part in the actual comic itself. But there was a lot of interesting stuff to come out of this issue.
Yeah.
It's going to play a role down the future. So, yeah, I kind of feel like this is probably a little. I think it was worth it. I mean,
Now-
I grabbed it for cover, so yeah, it's definitely one that I was happy to pick up a couple extra issues, and now I can.
Now I
Got my
want to
buddy Vancouver.
say something to everybody. I've got a notepad here and a pen. I know some of you are like, "Whoa, they have pens in Canada." What I'm gonna do is, because I'm not trying to like sour any of these books. I mean, yes, some of these books have dropped, but I want to just pinpoint how much, like, if you were investing in some of these books, the investment. Because if you look at this book now, even if you bought it at cover price, and let's just use easy math, let's just use $50 to CGC the book, okay, plus cover, you're still making almost $200 on this book and on the last one we talked about. So right now in 2 books, you're still up about $400 profit if you were just investing in the book to flip. So I just want to, I'm just going to keep that in mind. I want everybody to know that at the end of the show. And I just want to show people like, okay, maybe it was a fad, maybe it was this, maybe it wasn't that, but people still collect these, and they're still, even in 9/8, they still go for $250. And in today's world, I know the paper shit, and I know people bash Marvel or whatever. The paper quality is shit, and it's hard to get 9/8, but man, like it's easier to do with these new books, okay?
And you don't even have to risk it. Like, you can go on the Back in Time comic app and pre-order them, so you don't even have to go to the store. Like, you can do it from your living room. It doesn't have to be crazy.
Yeah. Don't tell them about pens. If pen stock goes up tomorrow, it's because of me. So I'm just letting everybody know. All right, let's get into the third book. And the third book is interesting. Why? Because this one you could have still bought, like, you didn't even need to order on FOC. Like, I know I didn't get it on FOC, but I still ended up with 5 copies. So we got the first appearance of God of Hammers. The week of release, it was $30 to $60. Current raw price is $10 to $25. So it's dropped quite a bit. Current CGC 9.8, $100. So this one has fallen. I think a lot of people are just like, man, fuck this God of Thunder or God of Hammers, right? Everybody was relating this one to like Black Winter, and everybody wanted to make that comparison, like, oh, it's going to go up. It's going to go up because Black Winter did, but it never really caught on that well. Rocksteady, did you fall for this one? I am okay not owning any of these.
Like, I got one of each off the shelf. You know what I mean? Just because it's not going to be worth less than $5 or whatever it is, ever. But yeah, it comes down to fool me once, Donny Cates, fool me twice, fool me 3 times, 4 times, and we're still going to buy in. So you were saying before, Marvel loves to do that. Never mind Donny Cates. You put them together. You know what I mean? You got this frenzy going on, and Donny Cates' finish is always just like so rough now that it's hard to get behind it. I think people are catching on, but people are also FOMO. They don't want to miss it if it does. So you're caught somewhere in the middle now.
Well, I think that it's interesting that we're talking about Marvel and Donny Cates and falling for it again because, well, Face is going to talk. He's part of the Kingpins, and they broke that news about Hulk 6. And that was basically a book that Donny Cates has been hyping up for the last, like, I don't know, 4 to 6 months, saying, hey, man, this is going to be the book. Get the book. Marvel was even saying, get this book, get this book, get this book. But we got some spoilers. Face, not to put you on the spotlight, but I mean, we're falling for Cates again, and we really shouldn't, right?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say with the whole thing. I mean, there's some room for potential down the road, but I mean, like Rocksteady said, man, the finish is an issue. So we'll see what happens with it.
Hulk 6 1 in 25 is $20 on eBay now. Pre-order.
Dude, there's that. Like, even I remember talking to Mel V about it, and he's like, "Dude, don't even bother." And I remember going back and forth with him, like, "No, man, I think this could be the one." And it literally took like just the last couple days of talking to him, where I was like, "You know what? Fuck it. Like, I'm gonna be comfortable not buying this." And thank God I didn't. The 1 in 200, I think it is, or
there's a 1 in 1,000, isn't there?
Or 1 in 1,000. Yeah, that's the one that, like,
wow.
I think somebody had posted on Instagram, and they were like, "Dude, would you buy this?" I think it was Furbird. Furbird put it and tagged me. He's like, "Would you get this?" And I was like, "Hell no."
That's insane.
Hell no.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Actually, back to Thor 20, it's kind of the same thing. It was just a lot of hype going into it, a lot of expectations, and I mean, I guess it was an all right storyline, but I don't really think that it lived up to what people wanted from it. It is what it is. I mean, I guess that's what you get with Donny Cates sometimes. So, like Rocksteady said, it's probably not going to really be anything that has any long-term value. I can't really even see this character being something with a whole lot of potential for coming back in the future. I mean, Black Winter, at least you have that hope.
But were people just maybe my thing is, I think people were just thinking this was going to, like, comparing it to Black Winter. So people were like, hey, look at where that book went. This is going to be the same thing. And it's like, well, no, you shouldn't really do that because it's not the same. But that's what people did.
Look where Black Winter went, and then look where it went after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's true. Comic Chef is in the house. What's going on, man? I like the new logo. That's pretty funny. But
actually, you want to hit that next comment, North 49. He is right. Spec side, it does seem to be picking up a little bit of steam as far as the story going into this whole Hulk and Thor battle. So hopefully that'll be good. I mean, it's Hulk and Thor fighting, right? Like, how do you fuck that up?
Yeah. Well, if you guys were pissed off about Thor 20, let me tell you, Thor 21, first full appearance, because we ran into that issue, and then it was a whole debate where people were getting mad, and then 20 dropped, and then 21 was the book, and this and that, even though this is an ugly-ass cover. I usually don't fight or, get into it with people, but if anyone out there thinks this is a good cover, I don't think we could be friends. Like, it's just probably not going to work out for us. I appreciate everything you've done for the newbieverse, but it's just probably not going to work out. This one is terrible in my opinion. It's stupid. I can't believe people fell for the first appearance thing. Like, it was such a debate, and I look back on it and I'm like, why did I spend time debating this or talking about this? But anyway, week of release, same thing, $40 to $50. Currently, this thing is dropped $5 to $15. Current CGC 9.8s, $75 Canadian. Yes, $75 Canadian, which means you could have sold it for way more raw the week of, like yours truly did, instead of actually holding it, sending it off to CGC, and then basically making peanuts, the time and everything. But guys, where are you on this? Rocksteady, did you fall for this one too, even though you fell for 20?
I grabbed a couple of each cover, or like one of each cover off the shelf. But your buddy Mel says first full appearance is just a fancy name for second appearance.
That's right.
However, the other cover that I grabbed is that the Thor throwback Journey into Mystery homage.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool. I like that even as just a cover play. If you grabbed it for cover, great. Again, I think 5 is going to be the bottom on it. If you flipped it, good for you and smart. If you paid any of those prices, I pray for you.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
But yeah, 9.8 at $75, like that barely covered. That's grading in the book, you know. You might as well just buy it there instead of even sending one off.
Yeah. Yeah. Bernard, wow.
Yeah, I mean, basically everything that we said for Thor 20 applies again here to Thor 21. And I mean, the only thing that you can add is it just added a little more controversy to the whole thing with whether, you know, you wanted to call it first full appearance or second appearance or whatever. So, you know, good times.
I just remember thinking, like, I look back and, you know, I reference Mel a lot, but like me and Mel have like really good combos and he's very informative and intelligent when it comes to, and like I was saying to him, I'm like, dude, I can't believe I wasted like 2 hours worth of like, you know, throughout a week just arguing about man, I think it's 20. No, I think it's 21. No, it's like, I look at it now and I'm like, what a waste. Like, it just, yeah, I don't know. Let's move away from Kate.
Ultimately, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Right. God of Hammers. It's like Vancouver Comic Junkie said, you know, hold me back. This is going to make me rich.
Right.
49 flipped one, should have flipped both, but hey, you never know, right? That's the game, right? So,
hey, I still got one. Got to have the full run. So
this book will peak God of Hammers, rumored to be in Thor: Love and Thunder, played by Jared Leto.
Oh, you fell into that one.
It's gonna be a hit.
Dude, you actually had me when you did the ... rumored to be, and then I was like, oh shit, did I miss something? Did I not read it? Okay, all right.
It's like Anchorman.
All right, guys. You guys know I am a big fan of Star Trek. No, I'm just kidding. Star Wars.
Wow.
So we got Darth Vader number 20. Now, this one was probably the first book of the year that we had some controversy on, right? Like, this is the first appearance of, you know, Baby Yoda and Mandalorian, and then people were like, no, he showed up, and they showed up on a magazine, and then it was like, well, magazines aren't comics, and then people were like, but it's in a book format, so like it's gotta be, and then people were like, well, you're an idiot, and then people were like, but you're an idiot, and then it just went back and forth, and we never really got anywhere. So then I think people were just like,
that's not close to how that shit went at all, but whatever.
No. But I think people were just like, all right, let's just make this one it. I think people just got annoyed, and this one was again another one of those. We didn't get the art until after FOC, because even afterwards, right, on that Tuesday when it was released, everybody was like calling their shops, oh, I need it, and everybody was telling you the same thing: it's sold out, or they don't have any. Like, that was it. So unless you ordered it, you didn't really get any. Now, there are some people out there, when this book did come out, that had like Instagram pictures of like 20 copies, 10 copies. And that happens, right? Like, some people are just on it. Anything Star Wars, they go big. This one, I missed out on, like a lot of people, but let's look at it. Release week, $50 to $100. Current prices, $5 to $15. So even Star Wars falls into the everything drops. Now, there is no CGC pricing yet. I did not find any information on any CGC sales. Don't know what they could be, but let's just say at a 9.8, it probably goes for $100, because if Raw release week they did reach $100, I mean, it could reach that way. Thor 21 got 75, so I'm assuming Star Wars is probably better. Let's say 9.8s are going for 100. Not bad. Rocksteady, what do you think, man?
So I do like Star Wars a lot. And my thoughts on The Mandalorian is I feel like Boba Fett has passed the torch to Mandalorian and the next generation. So we are getting a Mando series coming up.
Yep.
Mando and Grogu have left a mark. I think as a speculator, not as a flipper, but as a speculator, if you can grab them in that 5 to 15 range, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's low risk. It's not a first appearance. I don't like where comic books are headed, where the covers have nothing to do with the guts.
Yeah, I hate that.
And that scares me on some books, where it's like, it's a great cover, but it's completely opposite what's going on inside. But I only got one off the shelf. There weren't many going on shelves around here. So yeah, I think it's a good long-term speculation hold at $5 to $15 in that price range. I'd grab them up all day. Not if I'm paying $15 shipping too, but in person, you know.
And don't forget too, what was it, last week? I think it was, I think it was last week. The second print for this one came out, and I did see people on eBay combo it, so the first printing and the second printing, and they were going for about 50 to 60, I think. So I mean, like, there is value in having both of them.
That second print came out, I think about a month ago.
A month ago? Was it a month?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
But there were plenty more of the second prints on the shelf because people knew what the cover was going to be for FOC. There was hype around this one. I think that's what brought this one down in price, was that second print. But yeah, it definitely came out.
Yeah, I think one of the other things that kind of contributed to the dip being as much as it has been is that honestly, I think people expected there to not be a whole lot of these out there because of the art being released after FOC. Yeah. But I think there ended up being a lot more than were expected because, you know, they were just being ordered anyway. So, you know, I do agree, though. I think in, you know, the $5, $10, $15 range, this is pretty good spec to have in the long run. You know, there's a lot of love in the world of Star Wars for Mando.
Is there though? Do you think so?
Yeah, there is, man.
People love and there's more room for love too, newbie.
There's what? Sorry?
There's more room for love too.
If you should get in on it, newbie.
Get in on
the Grogu love. But I mean, but it is one of those things where it's like, you know, okay, this is just a cover appearance. Like, he's not in the issue, and there is a mini series coming, and there is an unofficial like fucking cameo in Die 15, I'm sorry, I think it's Die 15, one of the two.
Die.
So yeah, you know,
I think though I think it's an interesting point though that you guys bring up too though, Face, is okay, it's first appearance, okay, but it's on the cover, it's not in the guts. So like,
right,
is this a first appearance then? Like, the magazine aside, the cameo aside, is this the first appearance, or do we have to wait for the book for the character to be in the guts? Because that's happened to a lot of other characters where we're like, no. So I don't know what side people want to be on or what the market, you know what I mean? Like, for some books it's this, for some books it's that. Why? There's no consistency. Can you think of another
character whose first cover came before a cameo and the first appearance?
Gwenpool,
yeah. Gwenum.
Well, yeah, but Gwenum, I mean, she existed as, you know, Spider-Gwen at least, so.
I'm trying to think. There's like two more, but
Gwenpool's the big one.
Yeah, that's right. The one in the chair,
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just a first cover, you know, like, it's not the first appearance. First appearance will be in the miniseries.
First appearances are odd. Amazing Fantasy 15 is Spider-Man's first app, but he was only on the cover. I don't think so. I don't think so. I've never read one. I was gonna say I've never read one, but like, I don't think so. Gorgu is the new blanket king already. He's on everything. Yeah, that's the thing too, right? Like,
man. Merchandising.
Yeah, merchandising. It's when it's in a slab, that cover is what you see. 100%. I totally agree with that, man. Wrong. I hope you're not saying to me, man, because I'm usually never wrong. All right, let's go to another book. And Strange Academy, I mean, you could have picked 3 from the last, right? So you had 13, the magic one, that one's like 14, and then 15. But 15 was, you know, the one that really spiked. 16 is still on some shelves and it spiked. So, I mean, you could have put all 4 or 5. But this one I kind of went a little heavy on, and I actually still have BC's copy here that I got him, right? I did go a little bit heavy on this, and I have to thank him. But first cover appearance, we're sticking with covers, right? First cover appearance of Gaslamp. Week of release, $20 to $35. Now currently selling for $10 to $18. Current CGC prices sold. There's one for $150, there's one for $158, then there's one for $168, $171. So between $150 and $170, I made out like a bandit. I mean, I just try to get ahead of the curve, and that's what I did with this one. I don't have any covers. I just have BCs lying around. But again, Strange Academy, there was some money to be made. It's really popular. This one I think is going to stay here because this is such a popular read and run. Everybody seems to be on it. So it is what it is. I don't regret not keeping one, but hey, it's Strange Academy.
Of the three that you mentioned, 13, 14, 15, I like this one the least, believe it or not.
Really? Okay.
So I think 13, we got the cameo of Gaslamp, right? And then 14 was the first full, and then 15 is just first cover.
Yeah.
So 13, we got the cameo, and there was a little bit of buzz. And then 14 came, and there was a lot of buzz. But by the time the buzz was happening, you could still order Strange Academy 15, and we could see the cover and everything. So I do think there's going to be a large percentage more of Strange Academy 15 versus 14, and especially 13.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is really kind of where a lot of excitement in the run started to pick up, was this 13, 14, 15. The good thing going for it is that's a dope cover.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cover play right there, and it's pretty good. So I think it's fairly priced, but I do like 13 and 14 better.
Man, I love the whole run, to be honest. I mean, it's been a great story, and it's introduced some awesome new characters. I'm looking forward to seeing the next volume or whatever. I'm hoping it's under the same creative team. This character, you know, they're going to bring him back, so he's still got some life. So yeah, you probably expect that they're going to use him as a significant villain in the next arc, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of hope, obviously, that someday, eventually, you know, this will come to like Disney Plus as maybe a series or something like that. So, you know, being as he's one of the first main villains that they've introduced in the series, you'd have to think that they'd use him. So, yeah.
You know what's crazy? And Vancouver, I agree with you. I can't believe there's no buzz on this yet. Like, I think everybody expects this to be something, and you know, someday
it appeals to the right target audiences, man.
100%. The crazy thing is issue 16, that prom looking one, that is selling for about $10 to $20 Canadian, and that is still on shelves. Like, here,
another good cover, man.
Local to me, there's a shop, and he's closed. I don't want to say the name because I don't want anybody to beat me to it. I'm planning to go tomorrow, but like he's closed Monday, Tuesday, so I'm planning to go tomorrow. But he's got like 3 copies on the shelf. So
that's Howie, right? So that's the first appearance they're saying inside, and they're saying there might be ties to to Werewolf by Night.
Yeah. So, you know who, and issue 17 I think is coming out, and it's like that face whatever of Howie or whatever. So that one's gonna go up, the character spotlight. So that's gonna go up. So just saying. Also,
there wasn't much room on FOC. The image came out only a couple days before cut off of that B cover there.
Yeah. When's it come out? Is it next week?
Is it?
I think it's next week.
Tomorrow or next week?
No, I think it's next week. Next week. Okay. Yeah.
I FOC'd a bunch. I got lucky because you might get a whole, like they were talking about the next semester, and there's kind of a lot of buzz if you read the previews on it.
Yeah. First appearance of Howie is Strange Academy Presents. I don't care what crap collector.
Yeah, that's right too.
Listen, I don't listen to any collector that you speak of. I just listen to me. I listen to that song. Listen to your heart.
Well, he's definitely in the Strange Academy
for you. All right, let's go to the next book before I start singing and you guys are like, what the fuck? All right.
We're already there.
let's fall for the Cates one more time because he does it all the time. So why not let him do it one more time? Hulk 3, first appearance of Titan, we guess. All fake buzz. Week of release, this was a $20 to $35 book, still on the shelves. If you guys go back, I took a video of me picking it up because I didn't order it on FOC. I went to the shop, picked up like 3 copies, went back the next day, bought 3 copies, went back the Friday, bought 2 copies. By the time I got to Saturday, I bought 2 more copies. All of them were flipped, but just goes to show you that people were getting mad that I was picking them up, but they were still there on Saturday. And it wasn't like I was going Saturday first thing in the morning. I was literally stopping like right after work, going there. People really slept on this, but it did sell for 20 to 35 bucks. Currently, though, I'm very surprised to say it's still selling for the same. $25 to $40. I'm shocked. 9/8, 200 bucks. It's pretty good.
I'm surprised with the momentum that this is keeps going at. You know what I mean? I'm surprised it's sticking at that 25 to 40 when the other ones we talked about had dropped from 5 to 15.
Yeah.
If you're asking me, would I rather have this or that Mando cover? The Mando cover
100%.
all day. And especially buying in at 9/8 at 200 bucks. It seems heavy to me right now. Good for the book, good for Donny Cates fans, good for Hulk fans, good for Wolverine fans. I have a couple, don't get me wrong, but I don't see the sustain right now.
Me neither. And there's also a second print, right? It came out super quick. It
The
was
exact
announced
same.
right away. Same thing, except it's in white, and it did not do as well as people thought. So it is what it is.
Well, I
Do you
mean,
think this goes down after 6 comes out?
Face? What do you think, man?
I honestly, it's hard to say. I mean, I still like I said earlier, I think there is some potential for the storyline that's going on now, but you know, historically, you know, it's Case, so we'll see how it pans out. It's a cool cover. I like it. I don't know, man. The Titan character itself it's interesting, but I don't see how it's really gonna work so much as like a nemesis, so much as more like just kind of like a problem if he gets there or whatever. But we'll see how the storyline plays out and if it holds in the long run. I'm not gonna put a whole lot of faith into it, so.
Listen, I shouldn't, and I'm not bashing Donny Cates. Like, hey, he's doing what I wish I could be doing in my life, and he's in comics and he's very successful, 100%. But what he's turned out to turn things in, he grabs a lot of people and disappoints after disappoints after disappoints. But I should thank him because I have flipped a lot of his books and it's literally been free money. So I need to thank him, but at the same time, reading it and all that, like some of the stuff, like Virus really killed me. I think everybody knows and it's documented very well, Virus and how important I thought Virus was going to be. So after that, after Codex, just a bunch of stuff. So for me, I am never going to be flocking towards anything of his.
I like Donny Cates. Like God Country was amazing.
Yeah.
Crossover.
I was gonna say I like certain Kate stuff too, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
And I wonder if that's like why he gets us, because like Venom was a great run.
Yeah. Yeah, his indie stuff, man, he fucking kills it on the indie stuff for sure. So I love his indie stuff. But Marvel, it feels like he starts off great and then it's just the finish is
Well, the Hulk started off really weak though. That's what everybody was saying too, right? Everybody
the Hulk just kind of felt like it started off strange. Like it was just out there.
Yeah, because reading it, I was kind of like, well, this is garbage. And I remember speaking to like a few people and they're like, this is really slow. Like, yeah. So we'll see. Well, let's get off Donny Cates and let's get into the lady of the last 4 months. So the Goblin Queen. Yes, you heard right. The Goblin Queen. So Amazing Spider-Man 88. Now, yours truly had the 1 in 25. It was a horrible 1 in 25. I could not sell it for the life of me. Thankfully, my guy Ian called me on Saturday, so 3 days after having it in my possession, and he goes, dude, if you don't want it, I know somebody that's going to get it, like wants it. So do you want to sell it at 40? I was like, you know what, dude? I paid 20, doubling my investment. Sure, I'll sell it for 40. So I did. The 1 in 10 was the real winner that a lot of people went to. The cover A, I mean, let's look at it. CGC prices, basically $180 Canadian for a 9.8. Week of release, this thing reached $30. Currently, it's a $12 to $20 book Canadian raw, which is surprising still. I don't see this on shelves. I don't see a lot of people posting this, but it's still, demanding $20. CGC 180, still pretty good, and that's only cover A. And to think, guys, we really hyped this book up. A lot of people were like, hey, get this, get this, get this, get this. So there is a big print run for it as well, right?
I think if Marvel gets any more goblins, they're going to have a Lord of the Rings crossover. Because we have like Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, Pink Goblin, all the goblins, and now they have a queen. Like, I think and the Spider-Man run for me has just been garbage. So, I wouldn't go for this. I don't know, just not my jam, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, she came in basically a filler arc between creative teams. So, we're getting the new creative team taking over in ASM 1 and coming off of the last run. So, yeah, I mean, somebody might use her in the future, but it's probably not going to be anything too significant. She feels like she'll kind of be one of those background villains that might show up every now and then. So,
yeah, it's a shame though, because you're right. Like, they do bring all these goblins. It's like when they brought Yellow Hulk and Orange Hulk and who knows what other Hulks they'll probably bring, right? Blue, turquoise, teal. But like, yeah, they're bringing in a lot of them, and it's just kind of like, oh man, whatever. But I don't know. You guys got to remember too, this hit number 2 on a lot of hot lists when it came out. Even the following week after, it was still around number 5. So it was a hot book for a while. I mean, still double, almost triple cover, right? It's a $5 book, so you can't beat that.
Yeah, but she's a clone character too, so don't they always fucking degenerate? So.
Dude, I did not read this. I did not care. I got one copy and I flipped it, and that was it. So
what I'll say too is like the first quarter of this year has been like a bit of a frenzy as far as the comic book market goes. So people were like grasping and chasing, and there was like 3 or 4 weeks there where I would go out on a Wednesday morning and it was noticeably busier than it had been in a long time. So time of year, I think things always start to pick up around now, but I think that contributed to this a little bit too.
Well, that's the thing too, right? Because sometimes, and I had to keep getting reminded from like Automatic Comics, Mr. Ryan, and Vancouver Comic Junkie Chris, saying like, hey, when the spring comes, that's when people start spending again, and it gets a little more crazy. I had to remember that because December, January, February, it's pretty slow, right? So it's just the way it is. All right. Let's go on to a more recent book, and I got to show love to DC, but guys, this is the first appearance of the new Robin, and it was low print, or that's what they say. This thing spiked like crazy 2 weeks ago. Week of release, $30 to $40. Currently selling at $15 to $20. There is a sketch the one per store secret variant, which is like white. That's selling for about $400 Canadian. That's insane. That's like crazy. The fact that this one really got us was surprising. I mean, DC hasn't really had anything crazy this in 2022 so far. So this one was interesting. But it did make the hot list today when Cover Price released their thing. I believe this book last week was number 2, and then this week it's at number 7. So I mean, there's still some heat on it. People are still chasing it. It is Batman, new Robin, because we need another one of those. And people are always going to gravitate towards low print run, right? So that's what it is. 9.8 because there is no CGC right now, and just for the game we're playing of like at the end of the show, how much would you have been able to flip it for? Let's just put it at an easy $100. Let's say this in a 9A goes for $100 after CGC and the cover price. You're taking home $45. That's not bad. What are your thoughts, Rocksteady? I think you went pretty heavy on this, did you not?
I am not a DC person. Sorry to add diversity to the show. If I had $1 for every time they said new Robin, I would be able to buy a copy of this book. But like, if you notice the trend with all these books we've shown, except maybe the Hulk, if you wait 3 weeks, 2 weeks, you can get it for half the price. Yeah. It's this mad scramble, this manic at comic book days on Wednesday, grabbing in and missing out, and just be patient. I do think DC is low order right now. And on top of that, yeah, the printing error, what have you. But I don't know. I wait on this book.
Yeah.
I'm not sold.
More goblins than robins.
Pretty
good. Pretty good.
This is a tough one to call because, man, yeah, the Murphyverse, it is a really good read. It's been some good stories. But there was, I don't want to say artificial hype with this, but yeah, there was, I guess, like a printing error or something like that, you know, obviously got put out there before the book came out. So that generated the hype on it. You know, you do get the first appearance of new Robin, but even though it is a good read, it's still one of those things. It's kind of, you know, the alt universe stuff. How much does it really translate over? Yeah. You know, I think the $15 to $20 range, that's not unfair. I'd be okay with that. But I'm
okay that I flipped mine. I was able to get 4 copies. And again, it was on the shelf because I didn't pre-order it. But like when I found out it was a low print run, well, actually, I was telling people the week after FOC, I was like, oh, I had heard and read that it was low print run. So I'm like, fuck, probably going to be worth something. You know, I was telling everybody at that show that I was selling at with Ozzy to get it. So yeah, but I walked in and grabbed a few copies. So
it's certainly a supply and demand thing at the end of the day. So like,
yeah, exactly.
Where's the demand going to be? If there's no demand, then the supply doesn't matter.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
all
right,
right, guys.
And like Comics Talk Weekly said, man, the previous 2 series, man, they're worth the read, man.
Yeah,
it is really good.
Yeah, big time skip on this one. Yeah, well, we've gone through 9 books already, and we were for the most part going in order, except for one book. And this is probably a book that there's a lot of controversy with. I don't agree with what was said about this book. I think people are still a little like, okay, what's the deal with the book? What's going on with it? Is it long term? Is it anything? Are we just getting one of these from Marvel? You know, what is going on? Well, guys. Oh, shoot. No, never mind. I take back everything I said. Never mind.
Yeah, you just fucked something way up. What the hell are you talking about?
That's not the book I'm talking about. I don't even know my own presentations. God damn it. Okay, I apologize. No. What I just said in the last 20 seconds, just remember for when we're done with this book, okay? Because it'll be the next book. So I apologize. Damn. Fuck. I could see Greg going like, so I think maybe he knew because I know that I talked to him about the books. Okay, so we got shit. So we got Captain Carter #1, first solo series, first of this character, right? Because it is now known that this is not the same Captain Carter that is in Exiles 3, and it is different, or it is the one from What If. There's a bit of confusion with it, but basically the writer had said this is not the same one. So now people are like, oh shit, what do I do? Is it Exiles 3? Is it this one? What's the deal, right? Cover A didn't really do so well. Some shops still have cover A on the shelf. The 1 in 25 is the one to go for. So the 1 in 25 day of release was $100 Canadian. Now it's $60. It's the animation one, and that also hurt it too, right? Because guys, remember it was set to like open order because it wasn't. A lot of people didn't know that it was the 1 in 25 because they didn't advertise it as that. So, like my guy Cruz, he ordered like 5 copies of that, thinking that that was just a cover. And then the shop was like, "No, man, we just found out it's the 1 in 25. So like, we can't give you just 5 of them like randomly, right?" So, yeah. But the one in the cover A here is not a bad play. I would keep one. I think I have 2 copies left. It's not a bad book, man. No CGCs yet, but I will say, let's go with the 1 in 25. In a 9.8, I expect it to be, let's say, 250. Still not a bad play. If Raw was going for 100 and even now it's 60, I mean, that's not bad to CGC it in a 9.8. Greg, what are your thoughts, man? Did you fall for this one?
I wouldn't say fall for it. Like, if you're buying it at cover, I really don't think you're falling for it unless you're grabbing stacks of them. You know what I mean? I pre-ordered one, I think. There are so many Captain Carter versions already.
Yeah.
But Marvel's pretty smart in what they do, right? So Marvel has this series coming out, and FOC for this comes up shortly after What If ends. And then you have the Doctor Strange trailer where you say, "Oh, is that Captain Carter's shield?"
Yeah.
Right? So they're a hype machine. And now, so this is What If. So then the other one is Captain Carter in Marvel continuity.
Yeah.
So does the What If version even matter? It's just so sloppy. But if you can grab it for $5, I don't think you can go wrong. I do like the 1 in 25 as a cover play, not as a guts play. But yeah, grab it all day for cover price, and I think you should have one in your collection.
I really believe in this. The fact that, so like, again, I've got 2 copies of cover A. I had 5, sold my 1 in 25, but I was actually able to buy another 1 in 25. So I actually lucked out because I was able to get another one. Somebody was selling it on the low, and I kind of just instinctively had that, shoot, maybe I should have kept it, right? So that's kind of where I'm at. So we'll see where it's at. I don't know if I'm going to send it off to CGC yet. I'm going to wait and see where it is. There's no rush on it, so we'll see. Face, what are your thoughts on Captain Carter?
Yeah, man, I think this is probably a pretty good pickup, especially for cover price. You know, she's a character that people are kind of into, and it looks like, you know, I guess, like you said, you have the different options with, you know, X-House 3 version and What If, and, you know, the Captain Carter TV show from back in the day and everything. There's a lot of different versions, but it's looking like, I guess this is the one that, you know, Marvel is settling on to use, and yeah, people are into the character, so I think we're gonna see more of her.
Yeah, and just remember too, What If season 2?
Yeah.
They've already released like a little image of it, like their logo with like What If season 2. She is at the focal point and center of it, which means she's gonna have a big future, right? Like this is gonna be the character that they use. If she comes, or if she's shown in, you know, Doctor Strange or whatever the future holds. I mean, this is still gonna be a pretty good book. Now, really quickly before we go to the last book, would you send a cover A to CGC?
I would buy a CGC 9.8
instead of sending
sending it. I think to guarantee yourself it, and I think if they're still on shelves, what are they going for now? 9.8, or can they come back yet or not yet?
Nothing's back yet.
It's going to be under 100, so yeah, I think
Why
worth
not?
the risk and worth the wait. Like, I'd just buy it. Any book that's around that price.
As a huge Peggy Carter fan, I think all of her books are an easy buy-in. She will get her own movie and will be the first female character people will love. All right.
I think Jane Foster too. Like, there's some really cool female heroes, and Captain Carter isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll send one of mine because I think mine's a 9.8. I have a pretty good eye for grading and stuff, so I think I might send it. So we'll see. All right, Face. Don't laugh. But this next book, we did not go in order, and that's for a reason. But this next book is probably going to make some people go, shoot, maybe I should have bought it. Is this the book you know, because if you actually think about it, and I'm a numbers guy and obviously investing in spec and stuff like that, along with the other things that I am, this book is probably the more in the last 2 years, if you actually look at it, and remember we're in 2022, but in the last 2 years, this is probably the biggest book that's come out, maybe a year and a half. This is probably the biggest book for the dollar value, where it's at and how quickly it is and the possible future. This is probably the biggest book. Without further ado, probably the biggest book that's come out this year, definitely, is Black Panther 3. Now, if you've been on a Virgin or a SpaceX expedition and you're just coming to Earth right now and you're like, hey, I want to talk comics. Oh, who's this newbie guy? The one on the left is your cover A. The one on your right is the 1 in 25. Now, the 1 in 25 is going for $16.50 Canadian in 9.8. Again, $16.50 in Canadian for the 1 in 25. This thing exploded. Not a lot of people ordered a lot of them, right? Because a lot of people were sleeping on it. Me, I didn't know this was going to happen. I literally walked into my shop and took 4 copies of Black Panther 3. That's just what I did. It wasn't something that people were talking about around here, unless you really knew something. But hey, it worked out for me. I flipped them all. I got the second prints. I got the Jusco one from Ozzy. Like, you know, it is what it is. But the 1 in 25 is probably the biggest book from the past 18 months to 2 years. When you look at the numbers and how crazy it's been, this could go down in a few years as a book that, like, shoot, you know, like we always talk about, you know, and especially when I talk to people who aren't in comics, but we always talk about like, hey, I wish I could go back in time and like go pick this book up because like down the road it turned into being like a $5,000 book, right? Like we always talk about that. That's why a lot of people pick up every book that comes out. What if this is one of those books? I mean, some people are hating this, some people are like, nah, but like, what if down the road, 5 years from now, this is one of those modern day keys? This is a $5,000 to $10,000 book. And I know people are going to hate it. I know people are going to push it, but eventually some of them have to do it. And the fact that this book 2 months down the road is still at $1,600 and going up, it's a little crazy. Rocksteady, I don't know how many copies you got, but what are your thoughts on Black Panther, man?
So I think he's the next Miles Morales, and I think it should be worth $35,000. The 1 in 25. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god!
No.
I was gonna say, I was like,
He's like, who did I have on my show?
Dude, I was literally ready to go to the mouse to like get ready for the hate comments. Like I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Okay, so if you read the story, number 1, I think is a big underrated book. But like, there's so much hype around this, and even if there's like, when do books spike? MCU speculation, solo series speculation, all that stuff is so far away still. Like, I'm impressed the sustain on this, and I think it speaks to the market.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a solid book, but like to buy it at the price it's going now does scare me. If you got it at $5, good for you. Would I sell it? I'm not selling mine either. Don't get me wrong. Because
you have a 1 in 25?
No, not a 1 in 25.
Oh.
I have like the A, B, C, whatever those ones are. But in this story as well, like there's Gentle, and then there's Amolola, and they seem to be just as involved in the story as Tosin.
Yeah.
So as a cheap buy-in and a cheap other direction, go for number 1, or number 1, the second print, which is like an Alex Ross sketch variant that you can still get for around cover. Or if you want to go another direction too, in All New X-Men, one of the later issues, you can find the first appearance of Gentle if you're priced out of this one. But if you have it, hold on to it. If you got it at cover, like beauty, but to buy in now scares me.
Yeah, it's crazy that so many people ended up wanting this and, you know, kind of missed out on it, because it was actually in the synopsis pre-FOC that, you know, they were introducing a new character in this issue and everything like that. So, you know, if you had, I guess, read the synopsis and were doing your FOC orders, you know, you might have been on this. It's a really good run, actually. Like I said, there's some other characters in it that are, really interesting. I think he's got a future. I don't know how big it'll be. I know there is a lot of I don't know if it's hope or whatever that he might end up being as big as Miles or some shit like that, but I don't know if we're gonna see that. So I don't know if he necessarily justifies the high end numbers that he's at right now, but we'll see in the long run. We'll see. He is a cool new character, so
there's also no guarantee he's going to be Black Panther. Like everybody thinks he's going to be Black
None
Panther.
at all.
He could be he's the bad guy right now.
Yeah. People are sleeping on it. I don't know. Just to give you guys an idea right now, cover A on eBay is selling for $390 Canadian for a 9.8. That's cover A. That's pretty fucking expensive. I mean, it's still up there, and it's been a while. We're talking issue 5 comes out tomorrow. That homage to Ultimate Fallout 4. I think people are going to be a little disappointed in what's in that book, to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to be where people think it is. I know people around here like, dude, I'm sending like 10 copies to CGC, which already tells me one of two things. One, there's going to be a lot of fucking print, a lot of copies printed. Two, there's going to be a lot of them coming from CGC, and that there's somebody going to be at CGC that's going to be pissed off that he's going to have to do like 900 of these. So he's probably going to, or she's going to be like, man, fuck this. But I want to give you guys some insight on how we do things when you want to invest, right? When you want to invest. And that's why I said, you know what? I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. And let's play a game of if you were to just buy one copy, take out the CGC submission price and take out the cover price of buying the book, okay? So you bought all these books. You paid for CGC. You would have come out if you would have bought, and again, for the Black Panther, just cover A. But if you would have bought all these books, just one copy, bought them at cover, sent them to CGC, you're looking at a return of $840 in buying 12 books or 11 books that we talked about. Right? So, hobby paying for itself. Like, like when people start saying, oh man, no, it's harder than it is. Oh no, I don't know how people do it. It's really not that hard, guys. And like, this is how a lot of people pay for every week and do things. And some people put a black cloud to people that do it like that. But like, if you would have just bought one book and these came out, in the last, 3-4 months, but one book a week, you would have just bought it, sent it off to CGC. I mean, you're looking at $840 profit. Like that's pretty good. That's a big key. So just keep that in mind. Cause I know some people, sometimes worry or say, oh man, I can't, I don't understand how some people do it, but like, that's how it is. Right. So
I think when people say they're priced out of books, they're not doing it right, or they're not patient enough. Because if you did that, that's a first appearance of Falcon, or like, you know what I mean? That's a significant book in just 4 months. And so I've actually shifted a lot more to FOC purchases rather than flipping, and I would call it more speculating. Spending my time on previews, see what's going on, and it's low risk with a high reward possibly. And even if you lose, you're losing $5 an issue. You can still sell them. Do you know what I mean? So FOC there's big room there.
That's the way to do it.
Really quickly, Chef, what's so special about Black Panther 6, the 1 in 25? I don't know what it looks like. Does anybody know what it looked like, or what's the special thing about it? Why is everyone going crazy for it?
Don't remember right offhand.
Because I remember seeing cover A, and that's when he's like running away from like the white, the White Panther people with like guns or something. It looks like I thought it was like
number
a bunch
5 or
Black
number
Widow.
6. Number 6
Number
it
6.
shows that Storm and Black Panther on the cover.
The 1 in 25.
Yeah, that's all right. But I don't think it's crazy. It's not crazy prices yet.
Yeah, I doubt there's going to be anything, man. Like I said, issue 5 tomorrow. I think people are going to be a little disappointed. So I don't know. That's going to be interesting. So that's the show. But it's always interesting to kind of share that information sometimes. $840 would have been your profit margin if you would have just bought one of those. And it's not like, or all of them, but like it's not like that's super crazy to do. So Yeah, it's insane, man. Really quickly, guys, I'm just gonna give the floor to Greg Rocksteady here because he's got a little bit of things happening on his end. So, Rocksteady, let them know where they can find you, YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. Let the people know.
So you can find me on Instagram at Rocksteady Collectibles. And this Friday, I have my first Whatnot sale, Good Friday. And I'm actually going to be doing a drop as opposed to a live auction. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have every book is going to be $5. And when my time slot starts, you guys can start buying. So I have like Animal Castle #1 first print. I had some pretty crazy Venom 4. Just a lot of the pretty cool stuff going on right now. So check out my Instagram. I have all the books there. Follow me on Whatnot because these books are a steal. They're probably going for 2-3 times, some even 4 times what I'm selling it for. So every single book, $5, 25 books. I hope to see you there.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely going to be tuning in. I know it's Easter. What time is it again? Sorry, one more time.
So it's 7:05 my time. So it goes after 9 your time, which is pretty nice. And it's Good Friday, so everybody will be maybe had a big dinner and we'll be.
I just wrote it down.
Just
I just wrote it
vegging
down.
out and watching Whatnot.
Yeah,
and get
I'm
behind
definitely...
all the Canada Whatnot sellers. Like, we got to make this a thing. The more we get behind it, the cheaper we'll get the shipping, and support local. Like, let's do this. Let's make our Whatnot Canada community top notch.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Face, you're like our adopted Canadian, and in the comic kingpins as well, right? Because you're like the only American. But
Right.
brother, let the people know where they can find you and what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Well, we were just talking about FOC, so you can find us on Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. We have an FOC video that we drop over there on Comic Kingpins Royally Fox. We like to have a good time with it and give you our favorite picks for the week. And of course, on Mondays at 7 p.m., you can check us out previously on where we discuss the latest comic news, do some trade scenarios. Just have a good discussion show. Get involved with the chat. Have a good time.
Nice wonder, man. I appreciate that, dude. I appreciate that, man.
I should get maple syrup. And if I sell out of all 25 books at $5, I should chug the maple syrup.
Yeah, there you go.
But Ninth does check in, man. I know he stopped by on my channel and things like, or my channel, my Whatnot and everything like that. He's a good guy in the community, Spec, everything. So make sure you guys go check him out, as long as along with everybody else as well, dude.
Ninth is a brilliant mind, man. Some of the stuff he posts, he's made me some money. I think I owe him a beer or something.
And the constant Iron Man is the greatest character of all time. Like I love that about him. Oh wait, was that supposed to go public? I don't know. But I think everybody just loves Iron Man, right? All right, guys. Well, that's the show. Sunday. It is Easter, so even though I have never canceled the show, not even once, I've moved the show, just never canceled. It is Easter here, and I don't know how long my family time is going to be for dinner. So it's possible that I don't start the show at 9:35 right on. So, just bear with me for Sunday show, but 9:35 p.m. Eastern time, Sundays and Tuesdays, that's when we rock it. Not to mention, if you're following Nemesis Prime, Justin, he's on Lord of the Lombox, the Comic Con podcast. We just did a podcast about Morbius. Make sure you guys go check it out. Also, Back in Time Comics, don't forget them. Enjoy New Comic Book Day tomorrow. Enjoy Black Panther 5, because I feel like as soon as you read it, because I know a lot of people don't read things anymore or don't open their books, I think it's going to be interesting. I think people are going to be disappointed, but enjoy tomorrow. Enjoy Moon Knight. That's it. Any last words?
Peace.
Peace.
Later.